What's up, guys? So, I remember when Spacetime first came out, and looking at how awesome those outfits were, I did say that I would have just loved to win it all one time, and it finally happened thanks to some awesome people. So, I will take you through my journey of Spacetime, but first I want to give out, a special thanks to. It all started with May, who heard me say that I could have made it to the top 8 out of my group if Koza wasn't in my bracket. I fight him many times and always end up getting cut short, but May ended up giving me the chance to leave my group by convincing Kozo to skip out on the fight. And then I want to thank Kozo for forcing me to take the win after I was pushing him out of it. Then I'd like to also shout out to Cash for giving me the best space-time fight I've ever had. I really feel proud of the Kushner team I ended up making for it. It just was a really great fight. I mean, 8 rounds, it was so intense. So thank you for that. It's definitely one of the best fights I've had in many months. Would also like to thank Conan for making it a server 59 final to push me through the semifinals. And finally, a thank you to Kapow and Blind for letting me have the Space-Time final win. For all time's sake, I'll go further into the past with me and Kapow at the end of the video because it would probably take up a lot more time than I planned out for the intro. But, me and him go way back. There's a lot of history, for sure. It's been a 2-year journey almost. On this game anniversary is next month. So really, all of you, thank you. This is the first time where I really feel like all of the hard work I put into YouTube and Naruto, even after all the drama and everything that has happened, it finally paid off. I finally really feel appreciated. It's just, I really can't be thankful enough for having this achievement and prestigious award. I don't know, I feel like I just won a Grammy. I mean, Space-Time Master, especially for how insanely crazy my Space-Time bracket is. To have something like this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and that's all I wanted to see, is just to have the day where I could see myself with that title and outfit. And it finally came. I ended up putting music over the fights from all the rounds because I just wouldn't have been able to commentate over all the fights again. It was an hour long. It's also been a while since I had to bring out my DJ skills. It's been so long since I really put music into videos, not since the new Ninja exam. So hopefully you guys will enjoy all the fights, and I will see you towards the end of the video just to say a few more things and give you guys a couple of more extras.
And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars.
This is the hour, the darkest place. Dante's Inferno, the devil's maze. It's a good world, good world gone bad. It's a good world, good world gone bad.
And that was a space-time journey. I mean, this is definitely something I will never forget from this game. It's honestly probably one of the best things that I've ever had happen to me in Naruto. It feels way better than getting Itachi and all that. So this is also the 20th season of Space Time, which you do have to realize, like, at least 80% of the strongest Naruto online players, at least from the New York side, are in the entire bracket that I'm in, which includes Space Time, Sage, I mean, you name it. So even being up in the rankings, especially to win it, it's just really, really difficult. Especially to where Kozo and Kapow always go back and forth. So this is it's really meaningful to know that I can actually hold the title. And you know, the thing that I was told is the Chinese Space-Time Finals would give out a pill, but you will see that this is like this is the first time I've ever seen the Space-Time rewards all the way to the end. I've never even seen them or asked, you know, Kozo or Kapow what you get for them all, but in China they apparently were getting purification pills for winning, but here we don't have that, so I'm not sure if that was a future change or whatever, but you know, after reaching this, I honestly couldn't believe it to begin with, for me to actually get this, and recording on the next day. It's supposed to say Space-Time Master on first place. It even has the shurikens, but it says Space-Time Expert. So it wouldn't be Naruto Online if there wasn't some kind of small visual error or text error, and you know, you still have a little bit of German in the Space-Time to begin with. But yeah, it's been a crazy week of Space-Time. I never thought I would have gotten the title or the outfit to begin with. I didn't even think that the top 4 was a possibility, because I was even saying from the first round that I'm gonna get stomped by Kozo again, and you know, that's just the way Space-Time was going to end. So even after I fought against Kozo and fought against Cash, I didn't know what the end result was gonna be. So for me to even get into the top 4 for the first time, let alone end up with the first place title, was just unbelievable. But you know, the good thing about this, and the first game I ever started with browser games to begin with, was Unlimited Ninja, and I haven't played that game for over probably a year and a half now, pretty much since I started Naruto Online. After a few months I ditched that game, but I had a lot of respect for one player, and his name was Evans Genzo. Simply because he was a top player of the game. He was very smart on top of whaling, and he was like beating people that would spend way more than him to begin with. But in his videos, he told me that, or he told all his subscribers at the time, that it was never about the money, but about the memories that you made. And that's kind of the way I got around, you know, realizing how much money you put into games. Because when I started Naruto Online, I have done like 15 games beforehand, and since starting Naruto Online, I can say I probably did like 10 more. And this is between browser games, gacha games, like these kind of Chinese games, all sorts of kind of stuff that would fit into the same scheme. So I have a lot of experience when it comes to this stuff, and you know, realizing what he said, you get a lot of memories out of it. Now, is it always worth the money? No, not even close. You know, money can't exactly buy you happiness or a lot of things. But when it comes to certain memories, there are just some things you'll never forget. And there are those very few moments where it's just a really good feeling. And you feel like you accomplished something, you know, even if it might not be direct happiness, it can lead to it. So it's because of him that, you know, I can look back at my videos. Not like I watch my own videos, and I don't know how people do it, but even when I edit videos, I find it really hard to just try and listen to my own voice. But, you know, this is one video that I look forward to keeping, just because I'll always have the memory of obtaining the Space-Time Master at least once with the clothing. I'm pretty certain I'll never be able to get this opportunity again, and I'll never win it again either. So once is good enough for me. Hopefully, if I keep catching up into the game and progressing as I am, you know, maybe I can get into the top 4 consistently. But this is something that's definitely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, especially for a game of this size and magnitude or whalitude as it comes into our space-time, because we have freaking beasts when it comes to it. But like I did say with the story of Kapow, so before Kapow, I had a record for making everyone who joined my server quit. And those of you who watched me do YouTube before Naruto Online, or even know me before that or whatever, like you've seen the games I played or talked to me about the games I played. And it's not just everything I do on YouTube, because I do play a lot of games and I only talk about them on Discord and not really do any recordings for, but everyone knows, you know, I have like a notorious record for just like killing off a server because I get into a game too much and spend a lot into it at the beginning. So before Naruto Online, I had like the freaking Undertaker streak. I mean, every single server I joined into, I dropped X amount and pretty much killed off the server for any other spender to challenge me, and the ones who did challenge me I never lost to. But, you know, Kapow was a different story. You know, you guys may remember the videos from back in the day 1.0, first 3 to 4 months of the game. Me and Kapow went back and forth at it. I mean, we were just both like getting ninja after ninja, getting power after power, fighting back and forth. It was like a real competitive grudge for the first 3 to 4 months in the game. So, you know, he was the first person to ever really push me to like that competitive edge. The first person to actually compete against me on the same server when I started. And, you know, it was the first time I ever had someone over-compete me. As you can see now, I mean, I was gone for 9 months, but Kapow's a fucking beast. He's got like over 100k power on me still. But yeah, back then, you know, he eventually just made me say, fuck it. You know, me and him keep going back and forth. And, you know, he won the competition against me. So I did have a lot of respect for him in that sense, that he was the first person to really bring me enjoyment in a competitive browser game. Because it was always so boring just dropping some money and just never really having anyone to compete against outside your own server. So it was a new perspective on things, and for him to give up a space-time win, which, as far as I know, in 20 space-times, I know Kapow won at least twice, and I think Kozo won every other time. If someone else won and I messed up, it's because I was gone for those 9 months and didn't notice it. But as far as I know, it's only been Kapow that won it twice, Kozo's 17 times, and then the 20th time is when I won it. So for him to give up such a rare opportunity for him, for me, it really means a lot. So I always respect Kapow since the beginning. You know, first time me and him ever tried to talk like friends was when I left my own group, or, you know, pretty much got screwed out of it twice, and we ended up in an Anbu together. So first time, never forget that video for Great Ninja War when Hokage Tsunade was there on a release week, and me and Kapow had to be in the same land fighting against Jack. You know, that's another moment I'll never forget. So, you know, there's a few good memories I have from everything, and like, I'm a really sentimental person, so everything always has a reason or a meaning to me, and it's just a crazy feeling, honestly. It's a crazy feeling, but I guess I still have more people to thank. So on top of telling you that extra bit, I would like to thank all of you, my subscribers, for still watching, dealing with me, supporting me after all this time. I know I'm not like growing like every other YouTuber by going from game to game and stuff like that, or doing specific videos, but I've always done content that I would feel like I enjoy or proud of, or always try to show off new things to you guys. Because honestly, for as long as I've been into these games and spending into them, I would never suggest anyone else to spend into them. But for those who do spend, I always try to offer my knowledge and help everyone out to get the best deal, or what I would do, honestly. Just because these games, you know, they really do cost a lot for what you get. And unfortunately, when it comes to anime games, this is the best we can really get. You know, AAA titles don't come out from animes, unfortunately. But really want to thank all my subscribers, and I do want to thank all my close friends, especially the ones really close to me throughout the years of YouTube and everything. To King, Pun, Binex, for being with me since day one, going through everything. And I also want to thank my #1 fan, Aki, who she is the best person I ever met in my entire life. And because of her, she was the one that pushed me to coming back into YouTube for you guys, to coming back into the game. So if she wasn't there for me for those 9 months, then I probably would have never came back to YouTube or the game to begin with. So I really owe it to her. She's always been extremely supportive and helpful. So thank you very much for that. And you know, there's a lot of people to name off, but you know, I feel like everyone who has been around me and tried to bring me good deserves a real thank you. And you know, for all the amount of hours and work I put into the game, especially money, this really feels like this Space-Time Master really feels like a reward, because you guys may not realize it, but each YouTube video takes at least 3 hours of work, and I've been back on daily videos, which I also didn't think I'd ever get back into. It's a lot of time. I've done over 850, 860 videos on YouTube by now. So doing all those videos, and when you think about it, that's like over 2,500 hours of work put into YouTube alone. And you know, as often as I do videos, I rarely get enough, like I rarely get appreciation or thanks to begin with for all my time and everything that I do. So, you know, for those people who constantly thank me and support me, I really appreciate you, because it's just not something I see enough. And you know, for the longest, I would always look into comments, but never really respond into them unless I felt like a question needed to be answered. But since I came back, I've always been reading comments and responding to them, trying to help you guys out. So it's been a rough trip. You know, I honestly don't know what's gonna happen anymore in the future, because I didn't expect to ever get this, but the day has finally come. And you know, when you realize that time goes by fast, so like Evans Genzo always says, it's all about the memories that you make. If you can look back to the days where you felt happy or accomplished something you wanted, then I can say it'll be worth it for you in memory. But you can't look at stuff like this and a dollar sign. You know, if you're not spending because you enjoy it, then what's the real reason to spend, honestly? You have to have some kind of satisfaction, enjoyment for it. But yeah, I feel like I've said everything I wanted to say. You know, one last thanks to all of you. I do have extra fights, which I did record Space-Time, and all the fights I did record, I have them saved. So here are the remaining fights that didn't end up on videos. And that's gonna be it for for this. I hope to always remember the time I held this title and clothing once, because to me it is like the most prestigious award in the game, at least this game, because Space Time is cross server against everyone in the game, for your region and pretty much whatever servers it's caught up between. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys next time. Stay free to play.
Yeah, yeah. 行くぞ。二重だな。片方戦火の術、そこだ。惑星螺旋手裏剣。 重だな。死を怒らせたわね。惑星螺旋手裏剣。二重だな。
核が大噴火。
終わりだ。
惑星螺旋手裏剣。二重だな。片方戦火の術。そこだ。くっそ。
戸塚の剣、八坂の勾玉。
片方戦火の術。そこだ。惑星螺旋手裏剣。二重だな。
戸塚の剣、八坂の勾玉。佐野。終わりだ。
行くぞ。
よし、元気になって。
戸塚の剣。八坂の勾玉。
行くぞ。
よし。水遁大砲弾の術。はっ。行きます。
くそ。くそ。
元気になって。
戸塚の剣。
よし。水遁大砲弾の術。元気になって。
戸塚の剣、八坂の勾玉。
消えなさい。やっ。行きます。
ひがみの前。
よし。水遁大砲弾の術。
ひがみの前。
行きます。 気になって。
戸塚の剣八坂の勾玉
見えなく二重だな。
うわ
惑星螺旋手裏剣。二重だな。
よし元気になって。